Hello everybody. Yeah, it's another nice day today. It's actually partly cloudy, partly sunny right now, as you can see. Some people were telling me it was actually snowing in some areas earlier. I didn't actually see it in this area, but I guess the prediction was a little bit right with the little light snow. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna snow at all though, like any hard snow anyways. I'm just heading over to the park area right now. Yesterday when I shot the footage, if you all remember, from the water and stuff, and where I said it looked really black, and yeah, it looked really black still, like for certain parts. I'm almost thinking, because I've experienced this before, I'm almost thinking any 16 filters are way too dark and you're trying to do a top-down view of like water, regardless of the lighting and so forth, at least for waters in small little ponds. So I'm thinking today what I want to test is maybe I'll try like the really low filter, like maybe a 4PL, and do like a top-down view, just to see if I can get like a better shot. Because like I said, if I go to like some hiking trip or something like that, and with the one battery, I don't have time to mess around with the filters and stuff when it's too dark and all that. So that's what I wanted to test today, to see how it goes. There was some interesting news. Basically, there was a service called Cloudflare, which is a content delivery network, and apparently a lot of the information has been compromised, where apparently a lot of people could have had things like their passwords or informations like all basically stolen, if that's what you want to call it. Now, I know many of you are probably saying, well, what the heck is Cloudflare? I've never heard of that. I don't visit that site, so why does that concern me? They actually help operate like a ton of popular sites. Like, I'll quickly scroll down here, like as you can see with the list. Basically, there's a lot of popular sites like Uber, for example, or even sites like a Meetup. They basically use the service. So if you do use any of those sites, you should basically change your passwords and stuff for security reasons. Oh yeah, that looks like a film crew, right? I recognize all these wires and stuff all the time. I wonder if they're shooting now or if they're just wrapping up. I'm trying to think of what show actually shoots at this location. The squirrel's been following me. Whoa, that's weird. It's like it's trying to give you sign language and stuff like that, like I'm hungry and all that stuff. Okay, I'm assuming this is going to look as bright as heck up in the sky, but it should look better in the water, so let's see how this goes. This is interesting. This was my second encounter of someone saying for some reason they think the drones, the bylaws and stuff, they say you can't fly it, like in parks and stuff. But I basically asked for information and so forth right now, and basically it's really, again, it's so sketchy. You ask them about things like SFOC, and they're like, I don't know, just check it. So actually he's going to give me some information right now, because I genuinely want to learn it, like with the rest of you.
Welcome to Phone City.
Yeah.
And find out what the rules are, but definitely because you're not insured, number one, and we don't allow it in parks, number two.
That's what I want to check, because they, like I said, they said it's only for, right now, it's only for commercial, Transport Canada. They actually said it's only for commercial. Like if I'm shooting for a real estate agent or something like that, then that's different.
Filming all the time uses drones. A lot of times they use drones for filming.
Yeah.
And they have to give it permission from Transport Canada.
Okay. How about people that fly those little FPV things and those little microscopic?
I can't tell you. Okay.
I'm interested. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay. With the little toy, I'm thinking.
No, that's what they are. Micro FPV drones.
Oh,
like
I know.
Little micro.
But they class this as a drone. That's classed as a drone.
This one?
Yeah.
Because they class this as a model aircraft, so that's what I'm like.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Wherever you bought it from, they can class it any way they want.
Yeah.
It's considered a drone.
Interesting you say that if someone had that special flight operation certificate, they still can't fly.
No, because
that's interesting.
You have to have they have to have, like when a filming company hires for a drone,
yeah,
they pay that guy to do it. And
that's,
he has to go
yeah, exactly.
You have to have a license
Yeah.
as a business.
Yeah,
Totally different story.
yeah, that's commercial. I perfectly understand that.
right.
That's what we were trying. Like people in the drone community, that's what they're educated at. If you're doing it for like commercial, like you're paying money, that's
right.
different. You need a license. But they say if it's just me, like say in my house right now, and I fly it up in the air and I film, they said whatever, you can film it like your own
But
house,
the
it's
people-
hobby.
But the
Yeah.
people around you, they can see an invasion of privacy. So there's lots of things you have
Yeah,
to
no,
look at.
exactly. But then,
right.
yeah.
So you have a camera on here right now.
Yeah.
You could be an invasion of my privacy right now. If you catch me in your camera, I'm saying, well, now you got a drone, and especially on holidays, right?
Yeah.
That's a big controversy right now.
Okay, that was really funny again. I mean, just like the first time, it seems, again, like I was saying, the information is so conflicting. Because even I said again, well, what happens if you have like those special flight operations certificate? And he's like, still can't do it. I'm like, what's the point of having it then? And then the answer is basically, oh, well, I don't know, you just gotta check it up yourself. Or some other weird stuff. I mentioned, for example, like just for me to clarify, like for example, he was mentioning again, like any drones you can't fly here. So I said, what about those really tiny ones, like those micro FPV drones? And he kind of mentioned like, oh yeah, whatever, those ones are really small. And then it kind of changed the topic to, but like, you know, the ones that I have, they have cameras and stuff. So now it turns into a privacy issue. I'm like, what in the world? So in some ways, I mean, this isn't exactly the case. I'm just using it just to make the point. It almost feels like since the rules and the recommendations are so broad and so forth that people interpret it their own way based on what they want to accomplish. Like in this case, he even said it, like the bottom line is at the end, he just has to come and, you know, say that for safety reasons and so forth. Yeah, just, you know, don't do it just for safety reasons. So that's the bottom line, like that's his goal. It's just too broad, like the way it is, and it's not very clear. Like I even asked, for example, okay, like theoretically, what if I was in the middle of the mountain right now and there was no one there? Like, could I fly it up there, you know, and start filming? And then his answer was basically something along the lines of, I can't answer that, it's out of his like territory and stuff. That's not very helpful, but it's kind of avoiding like, you know, the question, which I understand, you know, it's his job. But the first guy that we bumped into, if you remember, he at least, he mentioned, for example, well, it doesn't matter if you're like in the middle of an industrial area, then people don't care. Oh, so conflicting, huh guys? It reminds me again of why I wanted to fly the drone and stuff, like beginning of the year and all that stuff, because I just can imagine it becoming so ridiculous just based on people's ignorance of like, you know, what a drone is and so forth. I mean, have you guys seen like those selfie cameras, the one that fly up in the air? I'll try to find a picture for it. It's one of those folding ones. Basically, it's super loud from what I've seen in YouTube videos, but like, what about that? What if someone threw that like in the middle of the park or whatever just to take a selfie? Is that technically like, nope, you can't even throw that up there because, you know, it counts as a quote drone? According to him, he classifies like everything the same, like say a commercial flyer or a recreational flyer. You're going by the same rules and regulations. So again, that's confusing. Actually, there was one funny example of that incident actually about filming and stuff, which makes me think again, all this drone stuff, what people interpret as just a knee-jerk reaction. Because he actually saw that I was vlogging and he made a comment to follow up on what he's talking about, like the privacy of the drones, like with, you know, cameras and stuff, and why it's such a big deal. And he said, like you right now, you're filming with that camera, you need a permission from the park. It becomes a privacy issue. And I was like, in my mind, like, what are you talking about? Like, if I want to, I can take out my camera and, you know, start vlogging myself here if I wish. But then he started to compare it to like working in movies and so forth. Like he's like, just like a movie set or something like that, or, you know, a production company. They need permission from the parks and stuff like that to do like filming here. Like to me, it's like, that's completely different because like, you know, they're doing it like commercially and so forth. And for me, I'm just like a regular person, like walking. And to my understanding, because like I work in film and stuff, you know, in front of the camera, to my understanding, one of the reasons they do that too is because when you film, let's say you don't have a permit or whatever too, you can't like say block the whole road and stuff like that and tell people like, hey, stop, we're filming a movie. Whereas if you pay the city and so forth to get a permit and all that, then yeah, technically that's your area for the day, so to speak. It's more about that. So again, like to me, it makes me think again, all these rules or how people interpret the rules for the drones is just a knee-jerk reaction. Like it's something new, so yeah, stop doing it. Like I'm so glad I'm documenting all this. It'll be interesting to see this like in the future, to see what we had to go through, so to speak, just to fly like a drone to take like videos or just for fun or whatever. Alright, time to get this test here. Usually this isn't bothering anybody here, technically. I mean, this is, to my knowledge, is okay here. Open field and so forth, but yeah, we'll see. That was an interesting test. Again, at some points it seemed dark. This time though, I actually did bump up the ISO at times, just to give myself a little bit of, you know, an evaluation to see how it looks like in various modes. Because again, usually they say you shouldn't bring the ISO up at all because you want the sharpest picture quality possible. But we'll see. I was thinking in many ways too, after that incident today, it's almost like they're forcing you to be a commercial pilot, like just, you know, to fly it and so forth, which is kind of silly in many ways. Is that going to be the next step? Am I going to have to become a commercial drone pilot now? Well, interesting day. Other than that, I'll see you guys later.